Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by Famous.com. They are an amazing website that helps you grow your social media followers in just one click. Check them out and see how they can help you boost your online presence. The link is given in the video description. Hey everyone, welcome back to TechLenses. Today we are going to be talking about Tailwind CSS, a popular utility-first CSS framework, and why you should use it in your ReactJS project. Let's dive in. What is Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS is a utility-first CSS framework. Utility-first means single class defining single CSS property in most cases. So Tailwind CSS provides a set of pre-built CSS classes that you can use to style your HTML elements. Meaning that you don't have to write repetitive CSS for different elements. That will of course reduce your CSS bundle size. The framework is designed to be highly customizable, allowing you to create unique designs quickly and easily. Okay, but why is Tailwind CSS better than its competitors? Tailwind CSS is better than its competitors in several ways. For starters, it's highly customizable, which means you can create unique designs quickly and easily. It also has a smaller learning curve compared to other CSS frameworks like Bootstrap, making it more accessible to developers of all levels. Let's set up a React project first. How to install Tailwind CSS in your ReactJS project? To install Tailwind CSS in your ReactJS project, you can use a package manager like npm. You can install it by running the following command npm install tailwind css. If you check the Tailwind CSS official Create React tab installation guide, you will know that PostCSS is not supported, and we have to select other options like White, Next.js or Remix. Before that, what's actually PostCSS is? PostCSS is a JavaScript tool that transforms your CSS code into an abstract syntax tree (AST). Okay. Using JavaScript plugins. In short, it is a tool that supports number of different plugins to transform your CSS on the go. And Auto Prefixer is a PostCSS plugin that will add vendor prefixes to the newly CSS properties, so that your CSS styles also supports the older browser, and this gives you the freedom to try latest CSS features along with supporting the older browsers. It is not supported in Create React tab, so if you want to take advantage of this feature, you should switch to options like White for React, Next.js or Remix. To try it, use npm install PostCSS auto prefixer and add it to your postcss.config.js file, something like this. After installing Tailwind CSS, you need to create Tailwind Config file by running the following command npx tailwind css init. This will create a default configuration file that you can modify to fit your project's need. What is the Tailwind Config file? The Tailwind Config file is a file that contains all the configuration options for your Tailwind CSS framework. In this file, you can customize things like the color, fonts, and the sizes of your elements. You can also add Tailwind CSS plugins and much more. Think it as a brain of the Tailwind CSS in your project, much like a package.json file which contains all the working brain of your project, like running scripts, dependency and all, which you already must be familiar with. In your config file, you can add a path to all files that will be using Tailwind CSS in your content array. So content will be in the array. Before moving further, make sure to install this Tailwind CSS IntelliSense extension. This will help you to write Tailwind CSS much faster with light suggestions. After that, paste these three directives in the index.css file so that it can have access globally. What are Tailwind base, component and utility directives? Tailwind base, component and utility directives are the three different types of directives that you can use in your CSS code. Base directive applies to the entire document and helps you to remove browser default styling. Remember when we used to write margin, padding and box sizing to all the elements, which is a best practice of course for consistent styling practice. Tailwind CSS helps us to do that using this base directive. So if you build the project by adding this directive, you will see some pre-styles will be added to your CSS production code base, which is fine because it is only 1 KB in size. Component classes apply to specific components and utility classes apply specific styles to individual elements which we will be using. What is Tailwind JIT and how does it work in the newer version of Tailwind? Tailwind JIT is a feature that was introduced in the newer Tailwind version. It stands for just in time and allows you to generate CSS on demand, which can significantly reduce the file size. It works by analyzing your HTML and generating CSS only for the classes that are used. Previously, all the Tailwind CSS styles were used at the development time, turning it into a huge CSS file size of 10 to 15 MB. With the version 2.1, it was introduced and given the option to add it in the config file. But with the version 3.0, it was pre-enabled and comes out of the box. How does Tailwind reduce CSS size and how does it reduces it in the newer version? The newer version of Tailwind uses the JIT feature which generates CSS on demand and which we have talked about earlier, further reducing the file size. Previously, we have to use PostCSS for removing the unused CSS styles in the production build, but with the newer Tailwind version, it comes pre-enabled right out of the box. How to write cleaner Tailwind code? To write cleaner Tailwind code, you can use @apply directive and separate your code in new file by defining it with the different non-Tailwind classes just like that. Apart from this, you can also check the docs of Tailwind CSS to learn more, as the docs are very easy to follow even for a beginner. So in conclusion, Tailwind CSS is a powerful CSS framework that can help you create unique and beautiful designs quickly and easily. It's highly customizable, has a smaller learning curve, and can significantly reduce your CSS file size. If you haven't already, give it a try in your next ReactJS project. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to Tech Lenses. So I'm Kunal, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.